Oh, hella beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Listen, man, I recently did a YouTube live video with Kevin Samuels and the Bowtie Fragrance guy, and we talked about the house of Kilian, which is the inspiration behind today's video. I decided to bring you 10 Kilian fragrances within my collection that I love. Now, I actually have more Kilian fragrances on the way, and it will probably be good for me to keep this video on pause until then, but I can't really compare them to these. These fragrances have been in my collection for quite a while. So I figured we go ahead and hop in. You like to hear it, and here it go. The first fragrance on my list today of the top 10 Kilian fragrances within my collection isn't actually in my collection. Not at all. She doesn't even know that I'm about to mention this until right now. I actually went up to my wife's room and stole this fragrance because I really like it. Listen, man, this one comes from Kilian, obviously, and this one is Good Girl Gone Bad Extreme. Now, I really am into this fragrance here, and I love when my wife wears it. Listen, this one has this milky facet to it. This one is really for the good girl that has gone bad and is ready to get seductive. Now, Good Girl Gone Bad Extreme is this sweet floral fragrance that was really created for those close encounter situations. And since you won't reveal it, I figured I'd bring it to you guys and let you know that this thing is a gem. Comment down below and try to get her to review some of her fragrances within her collection, because you guys already know who she is. All right, just go ahead and add this one to your Mrs. collection as well. Good Girl Gone Bad Extreme. Now, the next fragrance I want to mention is one that I don't actually own a full bottle of, but I do have a few decants, which has stopped me from purchasing this fragrance, but I really enjoy it. This one is from Kilian, obviously, and this one is Moonlight in Heaven Croisier. Now, this one is this citrus fruity fragrance that has bergamot, and this one is really sweet. In addition to the bergamot, you have coconut milk, you have mango, you have grapefruit, and you also have tonka beans. Now, this formulation is a different take on the original Moonlight in Heaven, and I think that this one far supersedes the original Moonlight in Heaven. Now, this one is a part of their limited edition collection, and Kilian is one of the few fragrance houses that I know when they say limited edition, that's exactly what they mean. So make sure you get your nose on this one. And with that being said, I should probably pick up a bottle. All right, man, Moonlight in Heaven Croisier from Kilian. The next fragrance on this list is actually another reformulated fragrance, and I believe that this one is better than the original, and this one is Straight to Heaven Extreme. Now, Straight to Heaven Extreme is this woody amber fragrance with rum, and you also have hints of vanilla. Now, the original one gets a ton of love out there, and I'm not a huge fan of that one, as it comes off a bit weird to me on my skin, and any recreation of that fragrance, whether it was from some no-name brand or Parfums Vintage, I wasn't really a fan of truly. But this one here, the extreme version, is far superior in my personal opinion. To me, Straight to Heaven Extreme is sensual, it's exciting, and it also awakens your need for this type of fragrance within your collection. So make sure you get your nose on it if you are searching for one, and this will be the Straight to Heaven in the gold bottle. Well, it's a black bottle with gold accents, that way you can tell it apart, but Straight to Heaven Extreme, you gotta get it. The next fragrance on this list is no stranger to the channel. This one is also a limited edition run, which has been increasingly more difficult to find at this point. But if you're looking for it, I'm sure my girl Ingrid over at Saks could probably help you find any of these fragrances. Now, this one isn't a sponsored video. I just thought that I should mention. Now, this one is a part of the Miami Vice collection, and this one is Love the Way You Taste. Now, my personal opinion, out of the two fragrances that were released for that Miami Vice's collection, which was Love the Way You Taste, and then also Love the Way You Feel, which is one that I also have, and that takes a more floral approach on that Miami scene. This one is bright, it's fresh, it's effervescent, and one that I think you will really enjoy. This has the sparkling type of mojito cocktail vibe to it, and it's just different. It's far different than anything else that's within the Kilian lineup, so it stands out for that reason. Because of that, it's on today's list, and one that I traditionally recommend for spring and summer, but definitely more on the summer side. Kilian's Love the Way You Taste. The next fragrance on my list today is one that it took me a few times to really begin to enjoy. On its initial release, I went to smell it and I was like, maybe not. Went back to the hotel I was staying at with the missus, and then I was like, I gotta go back and grab this. So the next day I went back and picked this thing up. The fragrance that I am mentioning is Kilian's Gold Night. Now Gold Night is wood on wood, so you have sandalwood, you have cedarwood, also you have punches of rum and coffee in this thing, which really just gives it a totally different vibe. Now, as you know, a lot of Kilian fragrances have some type of liquor note within them, and this one has been mixed extremely well. If you're looking for a fragrance that's elegant, it's daring, it's seductive, it sits close to the skin, and is good for those date night situations, then Gold Night is definitely one to try. Now, there is a counterpart with this one for women, which honestly, I think is a bit better than this. If I had to choose, then I would probably go with the other way. Well, I did have to choose, and I chose Gold Night strictly because this one was marketed for men. But if you really don't care which way it goes, then Woman in Gold is definitely one that you should check out as well. But Kilian's Gold Night is definitely one I recommend, no matter how you feel. Now this next fragrance has a lot of notes that may sound familiar, and I really like it. It's Intoxicated, in fact, and this one is Intoxicated. Now this one has vanilla, you have coffee, you have cinnamon, you have nutmeg. It also, it's marketed as hallucinogenic nutmeg, but I've never hallucinated when having this fragrance on. However, the missus loves this thing on me, and I should spray it because I haven't worn it in quite some time. This is a good fragrance for fall and winter. If you're looking for a seductive fragrance for the winter, it's going to be spicy, gourmand-ish without smelling too much like food, then this is definitely a way to go. If I had to create a list of best spicy fragrances or best cinnamon-based fragrances, then this is probably one that would make the list. This one is dark, it's bold, it's airy, again, it's seductive, something that Kilian does so well. And this one is, like its name states, intoxicating, so Intoxicated from Kilian. Now this next fragrance has been discontinued in its original presentation, but you can find it in travel atomizers, and you can also find this in its refill format. But I think the original presentation is much, much better. So here's the deal. This fragrance is this milky wood type of fragrance, and this one is Sacred Wood. I'm not sure why they discontinued this fragrance. I don't know if it's an ingredient or something, but it can't be because it's available in the refill. Listen, I don't know if they set out for this one to be a limited edition fragrance, but this is probably, in my personal opinion, one of the best Kilian fragrances of all time. Now, I'm lucky to have this one within my collection. I also gave one away on a giveaway video that I did for Hidden Subscriber Milestone. So whoever won that, you know, you got a gem in your collection. Hopefully you do not sell it. Hopefully you keep it. But this thing here is one that I really, really enjoy wearing. If you are into woody fragrances, this one has a hint of spice, but again, that creaminess that comes along with this fragrance just makes it much, much different. Sacred Wood is calming, mysterious, and charming, and a great fragrance to have in your collection. So if you have the opportunity, make sure you pick it up. Now we are down to the final 3 fragrances on this list today, and this next one is this amazing gourmand honey tobacco scent, and oh man, like the name of this thing just adds to it. This one is Back to Black Aphrodisiac. All right, so this one is a sexy, seductive tobacco honey scent, and it just comes off of the skin amazing. Now the thing about this fragrance is that tobacco scents can go well, or they could go way wrong. And the same thing comes down to honey scents as well, where you can get fragrances with honey that just don't smell right, but this one comes off the skin and smells amazing. Along with the sweet honey in this, you obviously have the tobacco. You also have some incense. You have hints of vanilla, and this is like creamy at the same time. So if you're looking for a sexy, seductive scent that will work well on date night and also have a bit of sophistication with it, then look no further than Back to Black Noir Aphrodisiac. This next fragrance on the list was my introduction to the house of Kilian. This is a 2013 release, and this one is just amazing. All right, this one really got me to see the artistic world of fragrance, and I really enjoy it. My wife enjoys this one as well. We were kind of mind blown when we smelled this fragrance. This one represents the liquor of the woods, and this one is Apple Brandy. Now, Apple Brandy was released as a boutique exclusive, made exclusively for the boutique in New York. Since then, it's been able to make its way throughout the world, and it's been available at various locations now. I picked this one up at Saks Fifth Avenue down in Boca Town Center, and this is one that I'm really excited to have within my collection. When I talk about fragrance to people and they're like, I'm not really sure about it, I often talk about this one or allow them to smell this fragrance, as I think it provides something different than the norm of what you would smell within a designer fragrance store if you had a big box location. I feel like that this one has some sophistication with it, and then obviously it smells very similar to what an Apple Brandy would smell like, and this thing just radiates off the skin. Now, some people feel like this fragrance makes them smell like an alcoholic, and I can see that, as it's really heavy in the alcoholic content. Apple Brandy has this authentic cognac smell along with it, and my wife enjoys this one as well, so that really makes it a lot easier. So sometimes you wear this thing and some people are like, oh, you smell like an alcoholic, but in most cases that's not going to be how people feel about this thing here. I think this one is a great introduction into the artistic side of fragrances, so if you are looking for that, I think this is definitely one that you can try out, Apple Brandy. And then the final fragrance on today's list probably needs no introduction if you are a viewer of this channel, but if not, this one has been rated a 10 out of 10 by your boy. I think that this one is sexy, it's seductive. This one is a staple, a 10 for life for me, even a 4 for life for me. This one I obviously care a lot about, and this one is Black Phantom. For those of you who are new to the channel, that just simply means Black Phantom. This one here, oh boy, I probably talk about this one too much, but I feel like that this one deserves everything that I'm giving it. All the praise that I give this thing, it's really deserved. This is a well-crafted scent. As I stated, I gave this one a 10 out of 10. This one is coffee, it's liquor, this one is sweet, it's seductive. Everything that you need in a cozy winter scent, you have it here. If I had to sum this thing up, this one is sugarcane, rum, coffee, and sandalwood. A lot of standout notes in this fragrance, which makes this one stand out. I've talked about this one again a lot. I've given this one away on numerous occasions. We've also provided this one as gifts to numerous people, and we'll continue to do so as long as this fragrance is out. So if you're looking for a fragrance for the house, I often urge people to start with Black Phantom, or at the very least order Decant, get your nose on it. Again, if you're looking for any of these fragrances, I'll leave Ingrid's name and number listed down below if you want to check it out. Maybe she can send you a sample or something. But there you have it, man. As always, I'm your boy, Big B. Don't hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.